Well, they clocked up over 1,000 years of Labour membership between them, only to be kicked out of the party. The purge of militant followed years of bitter infighting in the early 80s between the hard left and the so-called moderates. Among those shown the door was the former Coventry MP Dave Nellist. Now he's one of 75 expelled socialists applying to rejoin the Labour Party. Our political reporter Catherine Stancheshin explains why.
A long ago war of ideology bitterly fought.
The militant is standing candidates against the Labour Party. I think they have a bloody cheek, anyone who's in the militant, to think they can demand the right to remain in our party. They have no honour.
The Labour Party in the 1970s and 80s was a battleground between the left and the hard left, the party within a party militant, whose members were denounced by Labour MPs at the time.
Not the Workers' Revolutionary Party, nor the militant trots. Madam Chairman, the baying of the beast betrays its presence.
Eventually, it reached a painful crescendo, with hundreds of militant members kicked out.
Enthusiasm's almost a criminal offence. Now in the party, we're not allowed to use the word strikes anymore. It's a dirty word.
But now they're back.
I think this is one of the meetings up until the suspension.
That's right, and if you look at who two of the attenders are on the platform, one T Ben, one J Corbyn.
75 former militant members have signed a letter saying that the time is right for Jeremy Corbyn to let them back in.
I felt it was impossible inside that new Labour to carry on the fight for socialism, so we fought for it outside, but Jeremy's changed that.
Dave Nellist was a Coventry MP for 9 years. He's a name synonymous with the most radical side of Labour.
I think Labour's changing. Jeremy's re-election a few weeks ago shows that there's the possibility now within Labour for a radical socialist agenda. He's outnumbered 9-1 in Parliament and on councils. There's a lot of manoeuvres to try and get rid of him, and I want to be part of the battle to support his radical socialist agenda.
Of course, this all comes at a time when the party is once again deeply divided. The membership wants Jeremy Corbyn, the parliamentary party wants anything but. And with criticism of the tactics of the left-wing group Momentum that supports Mr Corbyn, some people say the idea of admitting some of these people back in is nothing short of terrifying.
But Mr Nellist says far from being the ruin of the party, when it comes to voters, he could be one of its saviours.
If we do nothing but wait for the 2020 election, 3/4 of all council services in our region will be gone. Youth clubs, libraries, children's centres, adult education centres, park wardens, street cleaners, all will be gone. There has to be a resistance.
Labour says where members have previously been banned, the decision on re-entry is one for the National Executive Committee. Dave Nellist is now chair of the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition and says if he's allowed back in, the group won't field any candidates at next year's local elections.
We're hoping that the Labour NEC, which meets on the 22nd of November, will consider it. If they don't find the time to do it then I think we'll take our campaign to the ranks of the Labour and Trade Union movement with a national petition to help the NEC reach the right decision.
A threat or a promise there from Dave Nellist, ending that report by Catherine Stancheshin. Well, instrumental in Labour's purge of militant 3 decades ago was a tight-knit Midlands-dominated caucus of MPs and union leaders, among them John Spellar, now MP for Worley. Down the line to Westminster, I asked him how he thought the party should respond to this overture from Dave Nellist and co.
These people, let's be clear, are dedicated Trotskyists. They have their own tightly knit revolutionary organisation. They only want to use the Labour Party, use its funds, and try and divert young people into their cause. We've seen it all before. They nearly destroyed us last time. We would be mad to let them back into the Labour Party.
But isn't the reality that they, in a way, are more in tune with the Labour Party as it is now, with these 500,000 and more new members? It's a mass movement. They see you really just as a sort of post-Blairite parliamentary rump.
Oh, this is complete rubbish, and you know that from the Labour parties right the way across the Midlands. And they've seen these people before. They saw all the trouble that they caused in Coventry. We became unelectable in the 1980s precisely because people would not allow a party that had people like that in it to actually get elected. And even more recently, they have been running, they set up their own party, they've been running candidates against the Labour Party across the country, even as late as this year's elections. So why would we want to be letting in people who are clearly hostile to the fundamental democratic aims of the Labour Party? They've got their own revolutionary party, they can run in elections, they can get the derisory votes they want. They just want to use the Labour Party. We'll never be able to rebuild and provide a credible alternative to the Conservatives if we allow these sort of people back into the party.
You clearly think that these applicants should be given short shrift, but do you think Jeremy Corbyn will think the same?
Well, I think it's actually the National Executive of the Labour Party, and these issues about allowing revolutionary groups in come up time and again in Labour's history. The Communist Party tried to infiltrate us, the Socialist Labour League, the International Socialist, the Militant, and now this new lot from the Socialist Party. It's a regular occurrence. They want to use the Labour Party. They don't want to help the Labour Party win with ordinary voters. And every time we look as though we're getting close to them, that takes us further from power and further from doing the right thing for ordinary voters in the Midlands and right the way across the country.